Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, I know you're probably saying, like, what is that? It isn't like that here. Well, this is actually a live view down in North Carolina where right now Hurricane Isaias is making landfall. And that is a live camera view. I'm going to share that with you because that is occurring as we speak. We're going to talk more about that here coming up a little bit later in the newscast. But back here at home, nothing like that. I mean, those winds, 85 miles an hour down there. Here, we are looking great. Very comfortable. 64 in Champaign, 63 in Springfield. No issues here over the next several days. Look at tomorrow's high temperature forecast. Yes, these are your highs tomorrow. 72. Oof. It's going to be nice. How long does it last? I will answer that a little bit later. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Police are investigating after one person was shot tonight. What we learned at the scene.
Students and teachers have a lot of subjects to tackle. What one district is considering adding to the mix. Watching someone ride a snowmobile in the summer might look funny, but this was no laughing matter. Why police are now looking for the rider.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Good evening. I'm Paul Cicchini. A man was shot in the streets of Champaign tonight. It happened near the intersection of Devonshire Drive and Sandpiper Lane. Jennifer Jensen is live at the scene tonight. So, Jennifer, what did police tell you?
Paul, police on the scene told me that they found that man further up from the street on Devonshire than where they are investigating here right now, which is where they said the shooting occurred. They still have the crime scene tape set up. The crime scene unit van is still here, and police continue to investigate. That shooting happened earlier tonight around 8 o'clock. Officials have blocked off Devonshire from one side of the street to the other as they continue to investigate what led up to this shooting. Right now, they haven't said what they believe led up to it or the specifics on how it happened. But I talked to several people who live near this area and right across the street from where this happened, and they said they heard the shots right outside their homes, and it was alarming because they've never experienced gun violence so close to them. A man I talked to didn't want to go on camera, but he did share that violence is uncommon in this neighborhood. The worst he's noticed is cars speeding down the street.
This is a very busy street. Devonshire has always been busy, and it's not surprising that something would happen. I would never think of shooting. Usually it's just speeders.
Police have been talking to witnesses outside of their houses, but they have not said if they identified any suspects or made any arrests. So as soon as we get more information, as always, I will bring that to you as soon as we get it. Live in Champaign, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Jennifer, thanks. Look forward to hearing from you with any updates. A man from Springfield is dead after being shot in Montgomery County. Deputies were called to a home in Witt near Vermilion and 3rd Streets, where they found 36-year-old Jason Newell dead. Alan Freyer and another man were both home at the time and were taken to the sheriff's office for questioning. Deputies have released one of those men, but Freyer is still being held. A snowmobile was stolen, and there's video of someone riding it through the streets of Champaign. Dreamscape Cinema started filming a movie called A Fargo Christmas Story in January. The snowmobile was used in that film. They paused filming that movie because they simply ran out of snow. Now, the crew said they left the snowmobile outside the studio for a few days, and that's when they realized someone took it.
When I first saw a video of my snowmobile going down Walnut Street in Champaign, I felt angst. I was like, I need that snowmobile for my Christmas movie. And then I thought, that's kind of funny. And then I thought, what is he thinking?
And now he says he did report it missing to police. He does need it back to finish that Christmas movie, and if anybody sees it, he hopes they will call the police. New at 10, one person was sent to the hospital after two cars collided tonight. It happened at the intersection of Weber and Main and Urbana. Police say a car ran a stop sign and hit another car. They say the driver who ran the sign got out and took off. They're still searching for that person. One person from the other car was sent to the hospital, but is expected to be okay. The Mahomet Seymour School Board is struggling to find a path forward when it comes to addressing racism. An anti-racism resolution brought before the board this summer calls for each grade's curriculum from kindergarten through 12th grade to address racial justice issues. It also calls on the school district to focus on diversity in its hiring and to build discussions of racism and its effects into professional development for teachers.
I've learned that, as an adult, I'm having to educate myself to learn so many things I didn't learn in schools. And I want our future generation to be learning these things in school. Get, accurate, complete history that is not white-centered.
There have been, I think, different levels of attention given at different times. I know, it is difficult with the pandemic to have as many conversations as we maybe would like. But again, this might be our new normal.
At tonight's board meeting, one member suggested creating a committee that includes parents, board members, and staff to give feedback to the board. That led to another round of debate at the meeting over how to create the committee, who would be involved, the timeline, and if more meetings would be necessary to create it. And that motion ultimately failed. The board is also looking at plans for child care in the fall. The district's planning to expand its before and after school care program, Kids Club. It's geared toward elementary school students. The leaders want to raise rates and open extended hours for remote school days and half days the rest of the week. The district says it's raising costs in order to meet what they're anticipating to be a greater need for child care. The meeting is ongoing, but we've got all the details on the fees at WCIA.com. Students at the U of I won't have to worry about returning to campus for the entire fall semester. That's because they'll have a combination of in-person and distance learning when they return. But November 20th will be the last day of in-person instruction. After Thanksgiving break, the school will exclusively start remote learning. Students say they support that decision.
It would just be the most safeguarded measure to ensure that there's not a lot of contact.
U of I is encouraging anyone who's already on campus to get tested. All faculty, students, and staff who plan to be on campus have to be tested for COVID-19, and those who are involved with on-campus activities will have to be tested twice a week. The Champaign Federation of Teachers released a statement criticizing Champaign Schools' framework for reopening. The union said it doesn't endorse the guidelines because they aren't safe enough. The union says the plan introduces even more exposure than the first one. Champaign School Superintendent Susan Zola says they've been meeting with CFT leadership for the past several weeks to address concerns. For more on this, head to our website, WCIA.com. The Pritzker administration launched a new COVID-19 awareness campaign today. It encourages the use of face coverings in public with the slogan, "It only works if you wear it." The governor kicked off the multi-million-dollar ad campaign this morning. It'll focus on communities with the greatest risk from COVID-19 exposure. Pritzker says the goal is to remind people who may have forgotten. He says he's open to considering fines for people who outright refuse to wear a mask. But state lawmakers left town without giving the state that power. Wearing a mask has become part of our daily routine, of course, since the pandemic began. Now, experts say if you use a cloth mask, make sure to clean it regularly. Moisture can build up under the mask, which can lead to bacteria growth, causing heat rashes and acne. The regional director of support services at Unity Point Health says there are two basic ways to clean it: in the washing machine on the highest setting or hand washing it with bleach.
You want to treat it kind of like your underwear. Change it every day. Clean it every day if you can, if it's the only one you have. If not, if you have plenty, then at the end of the week, maybe do one big load.
Price says masks will most likely be required for the foreseeable future, and you should get in the habit of cleaning them now. The positivity rate is up to 4% over the last week in Illinois. Over 1,400 people are in the hospital with COVID-19. There are almost 1,300 new cases, which means there are now over 183,000 infections that have been diagnosed in the state. 10 more people have died. There are now over 7,500 total deaths in Illinois. Here's a follow-up. The question of giving Champaign County home rule will not be on the ballot this 2020 election season. Supporters say that's because they couldn't get enough support for it. They would need 500 signatures for it to be on the ballot. Supporters say they'll try again in the future. And a business indicator is closing for good. Mega Replay's last day will be August 16th. The business bought and sold electronics and media. The owners say the pandemic hit them hard and they couldn't fully recover. Their location in Bloomington, however, will remain open. We have an update from 6 o'clock. The Decatur City Council approved plans that would affect 2 fire stations. They approved a resolution to buy property on East Chestnut Avenue to be used as the new home of Fire Station number 7. With a price of $82,000, the current station is a shared building on the grounds of the Decatur Airport. They also entered into an almost $3 million deal for the construction of a new Fire Station number 3. It'll move a couple blocks north from its current location on West El Dorado Street to Fairview Plaza. It's an annual event that's usually done in person. While some wouldn't let COVID-19 stop them from coming up with a solution. Plus, if you wanted to buy some items from a theater, now's your chance, while the owner is clearing them out. And it was great news for Illini Nation after Kofi and Io announced their return. What their coach had to say about it all.